In the previous video, that is a 40-second video where we covered 8 to 14 shlokas of chapter 6, Lord Krishna listed the characteristics of a person who is eligible for Dhyana Yoga. So how should that person be? He should have conquered his senses and he should view all material objects like stone, gold and mud with equal vision. He should treat well-wishers, friend, foe, hostile persons and all others equally. Then the Lord explained how and where a person should meditate. So, in a clear place, on a firm and stable seat, the focused and fearless renunciate, established in the vow of celibacy, should be absorbed in the Supreme. So, now let us see what the Lord tells us in the next few shlokas. युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति. नियतमानसः योगी एवं आत्मानं सदा युञ्जन्. So niyatamanasah. So niyata is discipline. So disciplining the mind. So the yogi niyatamanasah. The yogi with the disciplined mind. Evam atmanam sada yunjan. So evam likewise sada constantly atmanam yunjan. So the yogi with a disciplined and controlled mind likewise by constantly applying his mind to me, sada yunjan, by applying his mind to me, that is by meditating continuously, matsanstam nirvana paramam shantim adhigacchati. So matsanstam, he attains nirvana paramam, supreme bliss, matsanstam, that abides in the supreme God. And after attaining that, shantim adhigacchati, he attains perfect peace. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna tells us that the results one begets by concentrated meditation. The Lord uses the words nirvana parama. Nirvana parama meaning the supreme bliss. Worldly existence ceases to exist and the yogi attains communion with the ultimate consciousness, with the supreme. That is, one gets moksha from all material existence and merges with the spiritual effulgence that abides in Lord Krishna. Through meditation, the yogi attains the highest divinity. By fixing the disciplined and controlled mind on the Supreme, the yogi's mind gets purified, he gets liberated from material existence and is in contact with the Supreme Being. Natyashnatastu yogosti na chaikantamanashnatah na chati swapnashilasya jagrato naiva charjuna. Arjuna, yoga atyashnatah tu na asti. So Arjuna, yoga atyashnatah tu na asti. So yoga is not for atyashnatah, for the overeating person. So ekantam anashnatah na. So ekantam is absolutely, anashnatah na. So absolutely not for the fasting or starving person. So yoga does not occur for the overeating person, neither does it for the person who always eats very little or who starves most of the time. Ati swapnashilasya cha na. So swapnashila is sleeping. So ati swapnashilasya cha na. So yoga is not for one who sleeps too much. Jagrataha na eva cha. Jagrataha is keeping awake. So it is also not for one who sleeps too little, who is always awake. So Lord Krishna, after declaring the outcome or the results of meditation, in the previous shloka Lord Krishna declared the results. He said how a person who has reached the peak of meditation is in communion with the Supreme. So after telling us about the results, Lord Krishna tells that a yogi must definitely regulate his eating habits and the regimen of sleep. So yoga is not for the glutton or for the person who fasts most of the time. Sage Patanjali states that the stomach should be filled with, one half with food, 1/4 with water or liquid food, and another quarter left empty. So this kind of a food discipline is needed for undistracted, focused meditation. Likewise, only a yogi who sleeps moderately is eligible for meditation. Yuktahara viharasya युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः दुःखः योगः युक्त आहार विहारस्य. So दुःखः योगः, the yoga dukkha, the yoga that mitigates misery is for whom? Yukta ahara viharasya. Yoga that removes misery occurs only for yukta ahara viharasya, one who regulates ahara, that is eating, and viharasya, one who is also moderated in recreation. Karmasu yukta cheshtasya. So yukta he should be regulated in karmasu, so he should be regulated in disciplined in karmasu, in performing actions. Yukta swapna avabodhasya bhavati. So yukta once again regulated, swapna avabodhasya. So swapna sleep, avabodha wakefulness. So yoga occurs bhavati, yoga occurs only for one who is regulated in sleep and wakefulness. So number one, overeating and eating too little is not okay for yoga, because if you don't eat enough, then you would only be thinking of food all the time when you meditate, and overeating also will cause all other issues like indigestion, and it's not okay for yoga. Extreme activity or total inactivity is also not okay for yoga, because extreme activity will cause tiredness, and you will go off to sleep while meditating. A totally lazy and inactive person will also not be able to meditate. A person indulging in too much of recreation gets distracted. So only that yogi with disciplined eating habits and exercise, moderate sleep and waking is eligible for yoga, which rids one of all sorrow. Yada viniyatam chittam atmanyevavatishtate निस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यः युक्तः इत्युच्यते तदा. यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मनि एव अवतिष्ठते. So niyama is rule. So here yada viniyatam chittam is mind. So yada, when viniyatam chittam, when the controlled mind, atmani eva avatishtate. So when the controlled mind resides solely on the self, that is the supreme being, that is self is the place where is the abode of the supreme being. Tada sarvakamebhyah nisprihah yuktah iti uchyate. Sarvakamebhyah nisprihah is the yogi who is free from all desires. Yuktah iti uchyate is declared as established in yoga. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna describes when a yogi attains perfection in yoga. The mind becomes fixed, concentrating on Atma, the Supreme. So the Atmani refers to the external abode of the Supreme Lord. When the mind is free of kama, desires, that is, the mind has no thoughts of the external world, and the mind will not stray away. It is easy to regiment the mind and to be fixed on the Supreme. So when a mind reaches that stage, then he is considered to have, that person who has achieved this state, he is considered to have perfected yoga. Yata deepo nivatastah nengate sopama smrita yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah. Nivatastah deepah yata na ingate. So nivatastah deepah. So nivatastah is a windless place. So a deepa, lamp which is in a windless place. Yata na ingate, doesn't flicker. So a lamp in a windless place does not flicker. Sa upama is simile. So this analogy of the unflickering flame of a lamp in a windless place is cited for a yogi. Atmanaha yogam yunjataha yoginaha yatachittasya smrita. Yatachittasya. So yatachittasya is a person with a disciplined mind. Smrita is stated or evidenced, it is cited. That is, this upama, this simile is cited for a yogi for a yogi who practices meditation with a disciplined mind, who steadily practices meditation with a disciplined mind. Because yunjataha yogam atmanaha. Yunjataha is he steadily practices yogam by focusing on the atma. So in this shloka, Lord Krishna quotes a simile to give a picture of the yogi who practices meditation with a disciplined mind. The unwavering mind that is free of desires is compared to the windless place. The yogi wrapped in concentration shines brightly by the unflickering effulgence of the Atma. So when all extraneous distractions are removed through self-discipline and when the mind is focused on the Supreme, then the Atma shines. The spiritually intelligent yogi who is radiant in meditation, in a meditative state, he shines like the unflickering flame of the lamp in a windless place. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyannatmani tushyati sukamatyantikam yattad buddhigrahyamatīndriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitaschalati tatvatah yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tatah yasmin stito na dukkena gurunapi vichalyate tam vidyat dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanchitam sanishchayena yoktavyaha yogo nirvinna chetasam. So I chanted 4 shlokas, 20, 21, 22 and 23. 20, 21 and 22, 3 shlokas. In these 3 shlokas, Lord Krishna talks about the results of being in the supreme level of, the highest level of meditation, being in that supreme bliss. Then having described being in this supreme bliss, Lord Krishna tells us in the 23rd shloka why it is so important for each one of us to know, have that experience, how we should continuously practice, persevere, practice yoga and reach that level to know that, to have that experience. So let us take up 20th shloka first. Yoga sevaya niruddham chittam yatra uparamate. So yoga sevaya is through yoga practice. Niruddham chittam, subdued, controlled mind. Chittam, mind. Yatra uparamate. So when the subdued, controlled mind becomes stable through yoga practice, cha yatra atmana atmanam pashyan. Cha also yatra where atmana atmanam pashyan. When the Atma is seen, when the mind sees the Atma, Atmani eva tushyate, being absorbed in Atma, being absorbed in self, one is delighted, one is absolutely satisfied, one is in supreme bliss. Next shloka 21, Atindriyam buddhigrahyam yat atyantikam sukham. So in 20th shloka, Lord Krishna describes that supreme bliss that one gets by being in the highest meditative state. In the 21st shloka, Lord Krishna tells, now this supreme bliss, atyantikam sukham, this supreme bliss, atindriyam, it is, indriya is sense organs, it is atindriyam, it is beyond the senses. Buddhigrahyam, grahya is absorb, grasp. So buddhigrahyam, it can be comprehended, understood only by the buddhi is intellect. It can be comprehended, understood only by the purified intellect. Tat yatra veti cha stitaha ayam tatvataha na eva chalati. So I am here refers to yogi and tat here refers to that supreme bliss that was talked about in the 20th shloka. Okay, so this supreme bliss, veti normally it means no, but here it means yatra veti, here it means experienced. Tat yatra veti cha stitaha. So being established there in that state and having experienced that bliss, na tatvataha na eva chalati. The yogi does not move at all, which means he doesn't want to move away from that state because it is a state of supreme bliss and therefore he wants to be established there and he does not want to move at all from that state. Now 22nd shloka, yam labam labdva tataha aparam adhikam na manyate. So this sloka is also in continuation, so we must think of the yogi who is in that supreme bliss. So after attaining this state, so labam here refers to, labam is gain, but here it refers to that supreme bliss. So after being in that state where one is in supreme bliss, tataha aparam adhikam na manyate. Aparam is some other. So the yogi who has attained that state does not think of any other gain as superior. Manyate is considered. He does not consider aparam adhikam. He does not consider any other gain as superior than this supreme state where he is in. Cha stitaha yogi guruna dukkena api na vichalyate. So cha stitaha yogi. So being established in that state, the yogi guruna dukkena. Dukkha is sorrow. Guruna dukkena, intense sorrow, heavy sorrow. Apina vichalyate. So the yogi who is in that state is not shaken by any other suffering. So first let us know the meaning of these three shlokas, then we will go to the 23rd shloka. So in the 40s, the shlokas that we covered, the first few shlokas 8 to 14, Lord Krishna described the seat, the place. Then in the 17th, 18th, 19th shlokas, Lord Krishna described the diet and the diet discipline, the sleep regimen for a yogi. So what is yoga? Yoga itself is the merging of the individual consciousness with the universal consciousness. So in these three shlokas, 20 to 22, Lord Krishna reveals the results of meditation. As a result of dedicated efforts and practice over a period of time, a yogi completely immerses the mind in the Atma, the place where the Supreme Lord dwells, and is able to experience the transcendental bliss. So through the spiritual intelligence, the yogi is able to establish himself in the superior level of consciousness, and then he remains fixed in that state. Even for a moment he does not desire to give up that bliss, so therefore he just wants to continue to be there. He remains fixed in that state. Having experienced this bliss, no other happiness has any meaning for him. Even while not meditating, other happiness has no meaning for him. Likewise, he is not shaken by any adversity. Any death, tragedy in life does not disturb him. Now the 23rd shloka, dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sanchitam. That state which is called yoga, that is yoga sanchitam. That state which is called yoga, dukkha samyoga viyogam. That is, that state which is called yoga is free from worldly suffering. Tam vidyat. So that should be, vidya is know. So that should be known. That should be understood by us. Saha yogaha anirvinna chetasa yoktavyaha. That yoga should be definitely practiced with a determined mind. Anirvinna, cheta is mind. Chitta is mind. So anirvinna chetasa. That yoga should be practiced with a determined mind. So in this verse, Lord Krishna says a determined spiritual aspirant must definitely persevere to know this yoga which relieves us from worldly suffering. So one should tell oneself, okay, I will meditate, I will attain that state. This determination should be there in us. There should be no defeatance. One should not be deterred by obstacles. Perseverance is a key. So a spiritual aspirant should never give up, and he should try to reach that state of meditation where he has supreme bliss. To summarize what we have covered in today's video, in the 15th shloka, Lord Krishna tells us that the yogi with a controlled mind who meditates on self attains supreme bliss. Next, the Lord tells meditation occurs only to that person who is moderate in food, recreation, exertion in action, and in sleep and wakefulness. The yogi has to be free from kama, that is desires. When his mind is so disciplined, he shines like an unflickering lamp in a windless place. The yogi who experiences supreme bliss after reaching the highest state of meditation does not want to move from there. Other gains mean nothing to him in comparison, and sorrows don't shake him either. The yoga which frees us from sorrow, should be definitely practiced by all of us and experienced by us with a determined mind.